Okay, and what we want to do in this video is continue on with our look at all the different non-price determinants of demand and how they affect the demand curve and as such the amount that is bought at every single price. So of course we're talking about demand. As I say at every video, do not forget the 9 central themes that we're looking at these videos through, and also don't forget the first real world issue of economics, okay? So what we were saying was the first thing that can cause the demand curve to shift is changes in taste of the consumer. The next thing that can cause the demand curve to shift, either can cause inwards or outwards, just depending on the change, is other related goods prices. And the one that we're going to look at now in this video is expectations regarding future price. Please don't forget this idea of TOAS. So it's taste of the consumer, other related goods prices, and expectations regarding future price. We'll come to the last three in the next 3 videos. Okay, so again, to remind ourselves, and I'm absolutely delighted if you're sick of watching this slide, simply because I hope that means that you know it and you know all the elements that you're required to write down when you are doing a diagram of microeconomics. So an outward shift means that every price more is bought, and this is called an increase in demand, not an increase in quantity demanded. And an inward shift of the demand curve means that at every price less is bought, and this is called a decrease in demand. It is not called a decrease in quantity demanded. Now, when we're talking about price expectations, okay, this means that these are the forecaster views that consumers hold, whether they're true or not, by the way, but the forecaster views that consumers hold about future price movements that play a role in determining consumer demand today. So what we are saying, first of all, is that the price has not changed, because this is something that causes a shift, and a price change causes a movement. All we are saying is that consumers have changed their expectations, what they believe future price will be, whether they are accurate or not. So what you can get in economics and you can get in markets is a self-fulfilling prophecy, that somebody could either, for their own potential benefit, potentially, I don't know, but start a rumor, say the price of good X will rise in the future. And particularly if it's a non-perishable good, a good that doesn't go off, well then that could say, oh, well, everybody says, oh, I better buy it now, and then that increases the demand for it now. Okay, so just keep that in mind, right? So we're not saying that the price has changed now. All we're saying is our expectations regarding future price has changed. They don't even need to be accurate. So if a consumer expects that the price of a good is likely to be greater in the future, well then what's the sensible thing? So, okay, so I can pay $5 today, €5 today, or $10 or €10 in a month's time. So I'd be better off if I stocked up right now. So therefore, that means that instead of buying the usual amount now that I do, I'm going to buy more than the usual amount, no matter what the price is. So that's what I'm saying. So like, if consumers expect the price of a good is likely to be greater in the future, this might cause an increase in demand now, resulting in an outward shift in the demand curve. So what's happening? They expect that prices are going to rise, so they buy more when? Now, okay? And therefore that's an outward shift. Now, if on the other hand, consumers expect, or they think, that the price of the good will fall. We're talking about one particular good. Have it in your mind. It's not important what it is. Just choose something and then we'll go with that. They expect prices to fall in the future. Well, they're going to buy less now. And why are they going to do that? Because they're going to say, well, look, most likely I can do without the good for a little bit of time, and then when I do buy the good, when the price does fall in the future, what I can do is buy more than I usually do, and as such that will make up for the difference. So therefore I'm going to buy less now at every single price and wait for the price to fall in the future. Now, what does this mean? This means that if they expected, or consumers expected, prices to fall in the future, there would be an inward shift of the demand curve now. Okay, so I knew that one. So an expected price rise. You want the best deal as possible. You are a rational economic agent. All right, well, at least until the next subunit. And therefore, you are going to buy more of the good now, particularly if it's a non-perishable good. Like, obviously, you can't stock up on tomatoes. You can, in a way, store them, I'm sure, if you freeze them, but it's not the same thing. So particularly this applies to non-perishable goods. Now, again, I am only showing one price, but at every price, there has been more bought. This is an increase in demand. It is an outward shift in the demand curve caused by an expected future price rise, even though the price today has remained the same. So in order to try to maximize, and if you want to be very fancy, our intertemporal income, our income over time, we should buy more of this good today stock up on it so we can save in the long term by not having to buy the good at the future higher price. And then finally, an expected price fall. So you're saying, okay, in the future the price of the good will fall. So what will I do? I will reduce the amount of the good that I buy today in order to be able to afford more with the same amount of currency, $100, €100, but following a lower price in the future. So I will reduce the amount that I consume today with the view that I can afford more in the future. And again, I'm only showing this at one price, but at every single price less is bought. This is an inward shift in the demand curve caused by an expected future price fall, and as such at every price less is bought, and this is a decrease in demand. Guys, I really hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.